All right. During the Big Ten Media Day, a great question was asked. What did the NBA scouts have to say to you about your game? Coleman Hawkins is going to tell us what they said, and it's interesting. So let's listen to it and break it down.
But you, Coleman? Yeah, I was getting some great feedback as well. Things like, teams want to see me shoot the ball more. I'm a little passive at times. They question whether or not, if I'm being passive or, not necessarily afraid to shoot the ball, but, not willing to shoot the ball. So I think that's a big thing for me is just improving my three-point percentage. And then there's also just a lot of things that go into.
All right. He is passive. He does pass up a lot of shots, no doubt about it. And he mentioned becoming a better three-point shooter. That's a trap. If I was him, or if I was to advise him, I would say don't fall into the three-point trap. If you're wide open, take the three. But don't look to shoot threes. You want to be aggressive by getting to the rim, by going to the paint and posting up people. Use your height and length to your advantage. That is being aggressive and showing toughness. You show no toughness hanging out at the three-point line. With his height, his length, and he plays his best when he's in the paint. These are facts, not opinions. So, Coleman, he will be a senior this year, and as a three-point shooter, 23% as a freshman, 29% as a sophomore, 28% as a junior. He is not a three-point shooter, and he is not going to become one in one offseason. If he focuses on everything else in his game and can make it on an NBA team, then he can make it his job to work on his three-point shooting. But these are aspects that I'm sure that they talked about with him. His rebounding, for one. With his height, his length, and his ability to move, he only averaged 6 rebounds a game. And that's a career high. There is no excuse, no reason anyone can give me to why Coleman Hawkins should not average 10 plus rebounds a game. I promise you the NBA scouts talked about that. And for assists, a lot of people think that he's a great passer. Well, last year he averaged 3 assists a game, but he averaged 2.5 turnovers a game. So let's put that to bed. He's not a guard. He's not a point forward. You cannot run an offense through him, period. Now, far as scoring, he averaged 9 points a game last year. That's embarrassing for a player with his experience, his height, length, ability to move. He can't get 10 plus points a game, and you want to make it to the NBA. The NBA is not looking for players who average 9 points a game and 6 rebounds a game and has just about the same amount of turnovers as they do assists. That's not NBA material. So if I was to advise Coleman, I would tell him, I want you to be aggressive in the paint. Post up in the paint, drive to the rim, and then your free throw shooting. That has to improve also. As a freshman, 68%. As a sophomore, 65%. As a junior, 61%. That has to improve. Let's get to 70-something percent at least. We can accomplish that. So for Coleman, I would tell him we have to get 10 plus rebounds a game. We have to show the NBA that you can rebound. The NBA hates with a passion anyone with his height that can't rebound. So that has to change this year. Scoring. you have to average at least 15 plus points a game. There's no excuse not to. A 4-year player and you can't average 15 points, no excuses. He has to. So for him, if he goes to the paint, drives to the rim, posts up, he will get 15 plus points a game. I promise you. And he will get 10 plus rebounds a game. Now you're looking at career highs. 15 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, over 70% from the free throw line. And as far as three-point shooting, if you're wide open, of course you take them. And maybe, just maybe, we can get him at 35% from three, which would be by far his greatest improvement. I think that's realistic. But it all starts and begins with getting into the paint. I cannot stress this enough. If he falls for the trap of thinking I have to be a three-point shooter to make it to the NBA, he will fail miserably. He is not a three-point shooter, period. He needs to focus on getting into the paint. It is a fact. He does his best when he's in the paint, but he refuses to go to the paint because he's passive. That has to change. If he wants to become rich, he has to become aggressive. He has to be tough. He has to live in the paint, be a nightmare in the paint with rebounding and scoring. And as far as defense, play good defense. That's all you got to do. So, but I do not want to see him fall for the three-point trap, because that is not the way to make it to the NBA. The way is to be a rebounder, a shot blocker, someone who can score, be aggressive, make their free throws, and can make a wide open three when left alone. And when you make it to the NBA, you can work on your three. You'll have nothing to do but to work on your game. So then it can happen for you. So this is my thoughts on it. Let me know yours.